I know there's a lot of people out there that are getting nervous. I know there's a lot of people out there starting to feel we're reaching a precipice. We're getting to a tipping point, a boiling point. A lot of people are scared, nervous, afraid of what's coming. I, however, am not, but I think it's a good time, a very important time to remind everybody where exactly we're at and how we got here. Things are not as dire and as terrible as they seem to be, but if we don't start to come together and if we don't start to stop seeing things as one side versus another and realize that we are one group of people trying to fight toward the same goal, believe it or not, we are in for some bad times and we are in for some scary things. Now is the time. This is when we need to come together. United, we will stand, and divided, we will fall. Let's dive into this. This is Jared. I'm RedRacer Video. This is a former car vlogging channel. Now I'm an independent citizen journalist. I saw some things I could no longer shake. I had to change what I was doing. I had to use my voice for positive. I dove into this both feet first, or I dove into this head first, or jumped in both feet first. You all made it possible with your donations to the channel. Patreon, PayPal, and Venmo. This is my work. You guys have become my income, and I thank you so much for helping propel me along on this journey and help keep this thing going. If you see value when you watch this, and only if you see value, consider supporting at one of the links down below. Also, RedRacerVideo.com, the shirts. We will get more shirts today. I said Friday I'd have them. I lied. They didn't get done. I'm supposed to pick them up today. So RedRacerVideo.com if you guys like the unmasked shirts I've been wearing. So let's dive into today's subject. And you notice I'm not looking down at papers at all today. This video is 100% from the heart, so it's either going to be really, really good or it's going to be really scatterbrained. Being that I'm a squirrel syndrome baby, it's probably going to be at least somewhat scatterbrained, but we're going to dive right in. I did a live the other night, and partway through that live, I had a big wow moment, or a big revelation. Something that's kind of been on my mind ever since then. You guys probably noticed I didn't do videos for a couple of days. Saturday, Sunday, I just needed a break. I've told you all, mental health breaks are key. They are necessary for all of us in this movement. I needed one. There was a lot that's been going on. I've got a lot personally going on, like a lot of you probably do. We're all dealing with this in our own ways. I know that this virus, this lockdown, everything that's going on has got people scattered in a bunch of different directions. There's people looking for work. There's people trying to decide what they're doing with their kids. Will they stay home? Will they go back to school? Am I going to homeschool? Am I going to send my kid to the school and make them wear a mask all day? People have got their own set of things going on. I know everybody's up against a lot right now, okay? I say that to illustrate something. I think that we look at things, and I say we, I'm guilty of this as well. I know that on this channel, a lot of the videos that I make sound like Jared versus Democrats, or QAnons versus Democrats, or whatever it is, right? We're always pitting ourselves against one another. This is what the media wants. This is what the man wants. This is what the plan was. I don't know how many people out there know this, but I'm gonna give you a quick second. In the comments down below, and I'll wait, what is the largest army on the planet? What is the biggest, I guess the biggest, what's the way I'm trying to say this? What is the biggest army? What is the biggest armed force, biggest group of armed forces in the entire planet? What is it? Who has the biggest armed force? In the comments, do it. Have I waited long enough? Us, you, me, the American people. Many don't know that probably. The American citizens, not the American military, the American citizens are the largest body of armed, or the largest force of armed bodies on the planet. There are more guns, handguns, assault rifles, whatever you want to view them as. We have more of an ability to defend ourselves than any other group of people on the planet. There are a lot of people in the United States and a lot of guns. If we were ever together, we could not be stopped. They know this. And that is why we find ourselves where we find ourselves. Let's talk about something for a quick second here. And again, I'm freestyling all this, so stick with me. China, Wuhan, where the virus was created / released with the help of Obama and Bill Gates and others. A whole nother video. We won't go into all that today, but that's what happened. I don't know how many of you saw the videos that are starting to circulate of the way Wuhan's treating this virus right now. I don't think they ever locked down as hard as we did. They have been unlocked longer than we have, and they basically have like a little mini Woodstock going on over there right now. People packed into a pool right next to each other, jamming, raves, the whole deal. Do they look scared of this virus? I don't think they do. Did they play us? Did China just play us? Did they make this whole big scary thing up, kill a bunch of their people, kill a bunch of their protesters, a bunch of their defectors, make up this whole big story? Now the United States is locked down and they're weakening the United States as they're gearing up to come after us? I think they might be. China is our biggest enemy. We know this. Pompeo has come out and said that China is our biggest enemy. The whole time, the whole Russia, Iran, North Korea thing has been nothing more than to divert our attention from where the real enemy has been for a very long time, and it has been China. Our politicians, our entertainers, our athletes have all been in on this for a long time now. Getting back to what I said though, how do we stop this from happening? We come together. It's simple. The second that we all put our stupid little arguments away, and by stupid little arguments, I don't mean the real stuff that's happening, and we're going to get into that in a minute. I mean the stupid little things. The little minuscule arguments between us that make us think that we are like this. There's this great big divide between us. There's not. Let me give you an example. Very good friend of mine, somebody I hold very close. This is going to be tough because this person's probably going to see this video and not be super excited with me for the way that I'm going to illustrate this, but I don't know how else to do it, so I'm just going to say it. To anyone out there that's going to get offended by what I say, please don't. I just don't know how else to do this but to just let it out, right? If I try to beat around the bush, I'm probably going to lose the essence of it and it's not going to make sense. So I'm just going to be real. This person is still very much in love with Hollywood and the people in it. And this person is still, I can tell, very reluctant to open up to all that I talk about on this channel and all that my friends in the bakery talk about, and then my friends out of the bakery also. And I don't just have friends in the bakery. There are countless of you out there that I engage with, exchange information with, and I love you for that. Thank you. But there's a lot of people still out there that are still on that, like, this can't be true, right? It's just, there's no way. There's no way that all these politicians, all the entertainers, all these athletes, no way this stuff's really happening, right? There's still people in that. They call that cognitive dissonance for those of you that know. But this friend is still very much in the cognitive dissonance stage. I have been slowly kind of trying to prod this person, right? Sending information, making sure they see when Ellen's show is in turmoil and now looks like is being canceled, showing them the obvious signs that Oprah and all of these people were in on this stuff. You can tell that we're very much on different ends of this spectrum. However, we've still remained close friends. This has not ruined a friendship, right? Because this is how we do things when we're adults, right? We can see things differently and still be friends, still have relationships. It's a little hard, if I'm being totally honest, because it's kind of like, this is where I thought I might offend people, but I'm just going to say it. I kind of feel like I have to turn half my brain off to still have like a productive relationship. This person, in fairness, is not a dumb person by any stretch of the imagination. They just choose not to go down the rabbit hole. They choose not to open up to this stuff. They just either don't want to believe it or they don't see a productive path forward. A lot of people just don't get into this stuff, guys, because they don't want or need it in their lives. Think about where a lot of people are at right now. Just for a minute, let's just imagine that we didn't know what we know, right? A lot of people that follow this channel, I understand, probably have seen a lot of the stuff I've said, whether they believe it or not. They're at least a little more prepped to some of the stuff that's going on than the people out there who just get their information from mainstream media, from Facebook, that kind of thing. So you guys have always heard a lot about the stuff that I've said, but imagine for a second you don't know RedRacer video, you don't know any of the bakers, you haven't been paying attention to this stuff. Real quick plug, X22 report, link in the description. You don't follow @RedRacer video on Instagram. Another shameless plug, @RedRacer video on Instagram. So let's pretend you don't know any of these things, and then all of a sudden all this information's coming, right? You've got your own life to deal with. As far as you know, this virus is a thing. You're scared for your family. You're scared for your elderly parents maybe that have heart complications. They've got lung things. Maybe your job's been affected. You don't know where the kids are going to school. You got all this stuff going on. And now add on top of that Your entire life basically has been a lie, and you're finding out that all the people you've looked up to are these terrible people, and you've got all this stuff going on, right? Try and imagine for a second you're in that boat and then all of this stuff just got dropped on your plate. There's a lot of people who just can't do that right now. So again, I know that even me, I walk around and I see these people with masks. I go into a store and I'm the only dude me and my family are the only people in the store without a mask on. Big shout out to the couple of people out there that also didn't, because there was a couple scattered. But I too look around and go, man, these people are incredibly dumb. And I don't mean dumb like they are stupid. I mean dumb like they just are misinformed. They just don't have the information, okay? One more quick example I want to give you guys. Trying to break down some barriers, right? Trying to help us come toward the middle a little more here. Imagine for a second you're a busy parent. Let's use for this instance a single mother. You're a single mother. You have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, whatever you have. 1 kid. 1 kid is a lot of work to anybody out there who doesn't have a kid. Man, big shout out real quickly also. My friend Brandon, the Truth Vera. You guys probably know him, MMA fighter. I know him as one of the bakers. Very smart, very educated, someone who is a truth seeker, someone who is a critical thinker. Brandon, congratulations, my friend, on his first, I believe his first child. Congratulations. Just that came up because of the kid thing. Back to the kid thing. You've got kids. You've got responsibilities. You've got a full-time job. You've got to keep food on the table. You've got to keep kids healthy. You've got to take them out and do things. You've got to get them involved in sports. You've got to help them maintain their friendships. You yourself have to maintain friendships, relationships. You've got to keep your own head on straight. You work 8, 10 hours a day. You probably get up earlier than most people. You got the family going. You get home at the end of the night. You got to get the kids fed. Maybe you want to go do something with them. Maybe take them hiking. Maybe do a little bit of something. Now you got to try and get their homework done. Then you got to get them fed. I think I may have already said that. Then you got to get them ready for bed. And then somehow in that day, you've got to find a way to keep your brain sharp. You got to find a way to get a little bit of the news that's going on. So what are you going to do? You're going to do what everybody does. You're going to take the easy path, which is what they have laid out for us for 50 or 60 years now. The easy path was you turn on the boob tube, or now we jump on our smartphone, right? We get how many minutes? Do people get 2-3 hours to go and research what's going on in our country? No, they don't. They get 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. And there's research out there. I feel free to go look it up. I think the numbers are like on average, it's staggering, but I think the average person gets like 10 minutes a day to try and jam what's going on in our country into their mind. They knew this. This is by design. And so what they do in that 5 to 10 minutes is they just pack your mind full of misinformation. 90 to 95% of the information that those people who don't have the time, the people that I just mentioned, the single mothers, the busy fathers, just anyone trying to maintain a life right now. I'm in a different situation. Like I told you guys earlier, one more shameless plug, Patreon, PayPal, Venmo. Please support the channel if you see value. I'm able to spend 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours a day researching these things. I can't imagine having a full-time job and trying to keep up on the things that I do. So the next time you want to call someone dumb, I'm talking to myself also because I'm guilty of it as well. Try and remember what their struggle is. Try and remember that they're trying to find the truth in a world designed to lie to them, and they're trying to find that truth in 10 minutes out of the 24 hours of their day. So they're trying to find a needle in a haystack when their hair is on fire, when they're trying to keep a kid's life together, their job together, their kid's health together, their kid's school together. They've got their own things going on. Like I mentioned, they may or may not be a single parent. They may not have they've got a parent that's sick. Think of it. Circling back, this whole video, the whole point of this, we have to come together. I know that the Democrats out there, and I know that the liberals out there, not all of them, but I know that the vast majority, my friend in this situation, I know this person doesn't actually think that it's okay what Hollywood is doing. I know that if this person really knew the truth, they wouldn't still be posting things. And really quickly, I want to give you guys a little more backstory. This is going to be fast. The thing that made me realize how far apart we are, yet how not far apart we are in this situation, was this friend of mine posting something that had hashtag Black Lives Matter in it. And I wrote this person a message and just said, like, have you not been paying attention at all? Do you understand how terrible Black Lives Matter is? Their response was something to the effect of, just because it's your opinion doesn't mean it's mine, and Black lives do matter, Jared. This person didn't mean, I'm sure, to start an argument. And for what it's worth, person, if you're watching this, please don't be upset with me. This person has no clue. They just don't. They have no clue how terrible Black Lives Matter is. They don't see all of the terrible things Black Lives Matter is doing to people on a nightly basis. For those of you out there that, again, at RedRacer Video on Instagram, I won't repost the video, so never mind, don't go follow me, but there's a video of a guy just the other night he got pulled out of his truck, nearly beaten to death, and as he's sitting there in a daze, a guy runs around, kicks him in his face again, knocks him out cold. The guy that kicks him is a security guard. He works for, I think, the security firm. I don't want to get this screwed up, but he works for the same security firm that was hired by Kamala's something or other, or Kamala. Long story short, this dude's a BLM activist, and he kicked a dude in his face when he was sitting there almost basically looked like he was about dying anyway. I know that my friend that put hashtag Black Lives Matter did not mean to support people like the guy I just said who kicked a guy in his face, almost killed this guy. They nearly beat this man to death. Black Lives Matter did that. I know that my friend does not support that. I know that the vast majority of Americans out there that hate Donald Trump because they just can't stand him because of whatever, most of it is media taught, but I know that the majority of those people do not think that what happened was okay. I know that the majority of those people do not endorse a gentleman running across, and I'm not even gonna call him a gentleman, an animal running across the street and shooting a little boy in front of his sisters. I know they don't endorse that. But they do think that Black lives do matter, which in fairness, we all do. They are hiding a terrible terrorist group who is literally means to kill people in our country and silence the opposition by wrapping it up in a nice little name like Black Lives Matter so that people think, oh, Black lives do matter. Yeah, we got to get behind that. No, you don't. Our problem in this country is not that we hate one another. Our problem in this country is that we don't understand where we really are. Our job is to wake people. We cannot wake people up by calling them stupid or being rude or by screaming at one another. We've got to start finding common ground. We've got to start hearing one another out. To your friends out there that are completely lost, do not give up on them. Help them understand. You do that with love. You do not do that by hating them. And even when they're hating you and being rude to you because that's what the TV's teaching them, understand the things I've said in this video. You don't know what they're up against. You don't know whether their information is only maybe coming from 10 minutes of pure garbage. Show them. Lead by example. Lead with love. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I've said that a million times. Keep your vibes positive. We can bring this around. This is not too late, and we will bring this around. There's not a choice. We don't have a choice. This is our last stand. I said this in the beginning, and I'm finishing this in the end. United we will stand, and divided we will fall. This is the greatest nation on the planet, and the world is depending on us to come together and make this happen. I know you all have it in you. I know I have it in me, and I know we love one another more than we hate one another. Please try to find some common ground with your neighbors. Please stay patient with those who don't understand us. They will wake up. They're watching people burn cities down. They're watching the election try to be stole through the mail. As much as we think they're not seeing it, they are. United we stand, divided we fall. I love you all. Thank you for letting me have the weekend off. Thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you all back tomorrow with Jared RedRacer Video.